volunteer, be around our athletes. You would love it. I will give you a word of warning, and Fred will know. How many, some of you, I'm sure you know Linda Cook. Both of their sons, Jake and Zach, are athletes. I love Jake and Zach. Be careful if you give them your phone number. Yeah. People call it. Does anybody else give Jake their number, Fred? Love them to death. But, so anyhow, watch out for Jake, because you'll love him. So I'll go ahead and get started. Special Olympics, I know many of you think of Special Olympics as being people with intellectual disabilities, and it is. But it's actually so much bigger. We actually have made it into a unified setting. So everybody in this room can come and participate in Special Olympics. We have what are called partners, and those are people without intellectual disabilities. And then we have athletes who are people with intellectual disabilities. So it's not so much bigger than just segregating and having just certain people involved. I often get, as much as I drive, every time I'm going through the Border Patrol checkpoint, I have my shirt on, and what are the Special Olympics? Special Olympics are year-round. We have so much that we offer. It's not just a one-time event. We actually in Yuma have about 9 sports that go year-round. One of the things that we do notice about our athletes is because they have the setting that they have, many of them hold jobs. I actually have an office at Achieve Human Services, and that's where we actually employ a lot of our athletes. But because they're able to be a part of something, their confidence is there, they're able to come, they're able to work. So it's so much bigger than just the sports aspect, and you'll see through all the programs that we'll talk about. This is my very favorite, the Young Athletes program. This is for kiddos that are 2.5 to 7 years old. And again, it's an inclusive program, so we want all the kids to participate. I will tell you, my son's going to be 6, and I took him to the softball meet in Kingman last year. And when we left, he looked at me and he said, "Mom, where are the athletes?" And it took me a minute to register that all my son saw was all the ability. He didn't see anything else. So by capturing these kiddos ages 2.5 to age 7, getting them to play with one another, we're really getting them into the environment of acceptance, and it's so important. And so we really, through the Crane School Districts, District 1, we try to implement as many of those programs, pre-K, kinder, first, and second. And what we do is we give each classroom about $200 worth of equipment for the kids to start learning sports skills, such as kicking, hitting, throwing. So this is really a huge instrumental program, again, in getting the kids to learn inclusion starting at a young age. Under 8 Can't Wait's another program. What this does is it allows 6 and 7-year-olds to come and compete in area meets. They're still too little to go to our state meets. So again, just another transition program because we really want to capture them young and have them filter upward through our programs. This is a huge one to us, unified sports. Again, as I spoke about, we have athletes and partners. What we're trying to do is hit the elementary schools. I was telling Mr. Clee, that Crane has been huge. I've got about 3 elementary schools there that are picking up our unified sports programs. What they do is they, again, have general and special needs students, and they put them on a team together, they practice together, then they're allowed to come to area meets. Everybody wins medals, both the special needs student and the general ed student. And again, a lot of times our athletes aren't the kids that are invited to the birthday parties. Maybe they don't have the best behavior. But allowing them to be in this environment, they're building those relationships, they're building those friendships. And again, it's all about acceptance and awareness. We have elementary and middle school curriculums that we have developed that meet state and national standards, as well as a high school curriculum that has been adopted through all of the schools in Yuma. Cibola has been our pilot school. We actually have athletes earning letters in their respective sports, which has never been done before. And again, it's just creating that awareness. And we have many parents that just, of course, cry when their athlete gets a letter in their sport, because they're accepted. They're just like everybody else. So, and in my opinion, every single school in the state of Arizona should have a unified sports program. It cuts down on bullying. You're getting awareness. So, if any of you have any schools or have any connections, I'd be more than happy to talk with you. Again, we're really trying to work with the districts and getting these programs implemented. Capturing Kellis. Again, this is, my 3 counterparts that I work with in our state office are all guys. So it's horrible going anywhere with me because, again, I'm crying. They're just looking at me like, not again. Come on, we'll all get it together. So Kellis High School School is our pilot program in Phoenix, and I had the opportunity to visit there about a month ago. They have about 90 athletes and partners, which is huge. They actually have a waiting list for the partners to come in, the general ed students, which is huge. But in walking in, they had half of the group in one of the classrooms, and they were watching videos about people with intellectual disabilities and different disabilities. And afterwards, they would sit, the athlete and partner would talk to one another about what they saw and how they felt. So again, that had nothing to do with sports, but that was building those relationships. We went out to the football field, and they were actually practicing softball. And it was so cool to see the partners out there. I identified one right away. The kid had earrings. You could tell he was a cool kid. And he was just walking right along with his athlete. Just, you know, so we're taking kids that are on your sports teams. We're taking kids that are in your resource. We're taking kids that have behavior issues. And you're showing them that they can have so much more by being around our athletes. So again, it was really a cool experience. Our CEO, Tim Schreiber, for Special Olympics International, actually came and visited the school as well. He was brought to tears because it was so captivating. And again, this should be in every single school. It's so incredible. Spread the word to end the word campaign. This is a huge one for us. We do not say the word retard or retarded. We all know how hurtful it is. I've gotten to the point, I actually was around a bunch of law enforcement officers about a couple months ago, and they were all talking about probably 25 or 30 of them, you know, SWAT team guys, and one of them dropped the R word, and in front of everybody, and my son was standing there. I was kind of embarrassed afterwards, but I stepped in right away and said, "We don't say the R word." Sorry, you know, kind of got looked at wrong, but very important that we don't say that because we know how hurtful it is. And so this is a huge campaign that we implement in the schools. We send out bracelets, we send out shirts, we send out banners for the kids to sign saying that we're not going to say that R word. Cibola High School, once we're done, I'll show you, they did a short PSA about the R word campaign. Yeah, they've really been our pilot school here in Yuma. This can be done in the workplace as well. So if anybody's interested, again, it's just bringing awareness. Youth Activation Committee, Project Unify, again, we have what's an umbrella of different programs, spread the word to end the word. We really want to empower our athletes. Our athletes should be up here speaking. They should have my job. So really getting them to become coaches, getting them the confidence to be able to take leadership roles, and starting in the school is very important. So again, Cibola High School, they've got their student council that's very heavily involved, and just getting like a disability awareness week, bringing awareness again that, hey, we're all the same, we might be a little different, but we're all the same. Traditional unified sports, and again, I'm sorry you guys, I know there's so much information, I think everybody always wants to hear just about the sports, but what this is this would be just the athletes participating on a team together. There would be no partners. That's probably what most of you have been aware of with Special Olympics. But again, we are really pushing for the unified. Healthy athletes is another huge component. We actually, at our summer and fall games, our two largest events in Phoenix, we offer health screenings for our athletes and our partners. And what they do is, for instance, if they come through and they have their feet checked, they have podiatry done, they decide, hey, your shoes are bad. They will give them a pair of shoes right on site. Same thing with glasses, same thing with dental work. And where this is huge is really trying to build relationships here in Yuma with different physicians for follow-up care, because otherwise our athletes do have to go back to Phoenix for follow-up care. So we have reached out to some different physicians, and again, it's just bringing awareness that it's so much bigger than sports. There's a health component involved. Again, our athlete leadership program, I probably should have stood on the other side. Our athlete leadership program, again, is just empowering our athletes, letting them know that it's not just sports. They can come out, they can speak to groups. We do, in fact, Jake, my favorite athlete of them all, I love them all, but I take him with me a lot to do different presentations, and we went out to the prison, which was an experience in itself, talking to a bunch of inmates, going through the security, and when we walked in, seeing, about 35 different men in their uniforms, and Jake got up and just went and hugged every one of them, and when we left, I had an email saying that one of the inmates said in his 30 years, he's never cried in there, and that seeing Jake and being around him made him cry. So again, it's really a huge impact. So again, getting our athletes into those leadership roles. There's Jake. Law enforcement torch run. Our law enforcement are our biggest fundraisers for us throughout the state. Yuma's PD is huge. I don't know if any of you went out to the prison on Halloween. That was a huge fundraiser for us. Our law enforcement across the state is going to raise us over $1 million this year. And where those funds go is they allow our athletes to go out to our summer and fall games. It pays for their hotel room and their food. And you can imagine, we just ended fall games. And Fred, you guys were there. We, just from Yuma alone, we had probably about 50 athletes. So imagine paying for the hotel rooms and the food. So our law enforcement, they are huge for us. And they throw all kinds of events. So again, I would really ask that you keep your eyes open for those Tippet Cops, for those other events that they do. And this is another one, our Leadership Advisory Council. This is something new to the river area. What we do is we have a group of individuals that we meet every couple months. And we are looking for some other people to come in and join. Again, we're looking for people from government, civic, law, or accounting and finance. What this committee does is when we meet, we discuss different fundraising opportunities and different things we can do to bring awareness to our group. Jenny Jones is on there. We've got El Dorado, Friends Like Liz is on there from YRNC. So again, it's just talking about different events. We are looking to try to do a triathlon at some point last year. So if anybody is interested, I did leave some cards on the table. I would love to talk to you to see if you'd like to come. Again, it's an hour meeting. We provide lunch, pretty basic. And how you can help, definitely advocate. We are always looking for advocates for our athletes. Many of them don't have voices, so we're their voices, which is incredible. But again, just getting the awareness out there, knowing our programs, helping us build these programs in the school, donating. Again, we are a nonprofit. 91 cents of every dollar that we earn or raise goes right back into our programs, which is a pretty high percentage. So very important, again, just getting involved in any fundraisers. And I thank all of you for your time. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but again, my cards are on there. You can visit our website, soaz.org, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
While she's up here, regarding Special Olympics. Randy?
Yeah, we would be interested in our Boys and Girls Club, because we keep service above self to our kids. And we've also done 6 anti-bullying events, and we would really be down to spread the word and the word, and also to have some of our kids come out and support, including our teenage students in training. We would love to partner with you guys on some of that stuff. So.
Wonderful, thank you. Exchange information, thank you.
Any other questions for Lisa? Adrian, real quick, before Lisa goes, you want to say what we're doing for the Special Olympics?
Sure. Well, there. Yeah.
Whatever you can.
All right. Well, my voice carries. We've done quite a bit as far as the board goes the last couple of years with the Special Olympics. I want to thank Drew, but he actually just jumped out, got the attendance, and then took off. But we've done a lot of things. We've helped redo the bocce ball courts for the athletes. Recently, we bought them all new golf clubs. So that they can play golf with extra equipment. We bought all new uniforms, I believe, and then we're buying new uniforms for the athletes, which we should do within the next week or two. So there's been a lot of interaction between Yuma Rotary and Special Olympics. I think it's a cause that really needs support.
Thank you.
Get a coaster and a bottle, and you get your picture taken again.
Just making sure.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lisa. And she'll probably be around. She's got a conference call on, but she'll probably be around for a few minutes if you need to stop her.